What's kind of surprising to me is the fact that I've never made a video talking about Zoro's best moments in One Piece. What makes it so surprising is because he's my favorite character in all of anime, and I don't have some crazy reason why other than the fact that he's cool and badass. So I wanted to do a video today talking about my personal favorite Zoro moments. I won't be including fights because I feel like that's kind of taking an easy way out in doing this video. However, I will be including a particular moment that happened within the fight, and if that's confusing for you guys to understand, you'll understand more as the video goes on. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that away, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's talk about Roronoa Zoro's best moments in One Piece. Luffy's always a hot-headed individual and needs a voice of reason. That person is Zoro. After his fight with Usopp, Luffy was ready to welcome him back to the crew, but Zoro put a stop to it, saying that Usopp had to apologize if he wanted to come back to the crew, which is true. They both agreed to duel, and that means accepting the results, win or lose. He made great points about how this should set an example that others should follow. They're at the point where everybody in the crew has bounties, so coming and going as someone pleases isn't an option, and Zoro's 100% right. This is the first time that we've seen someone put Luffy in his place, a great moment showcasing why he's the vice captain. What could have been? If Zoro cuts Charlos here, his respect would have gone through the roof. Of course, the only reason why this scene didn't happen was because it was saved for Luffy, and he's the captain, have to get his best moment, can't have Zoro overshadowing him. But this moment was still really cool. All the other pirates, including some of the supernova, were scared to do anything in front of a celestial dragon. Zoro, he dodged bullets and went in not giving a fluff. So many different supernovas gave him respect, even calling him a monster. A few years ago, if you would have told me that Zoro was clashing against the world's strongest creature, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I know, I said I wasn't going to include fights, but I had to include this one. Zoro not only fought against Kaido with Ashura, but he was able to parry his attacks, create an opening, and even leave a permanent scar on him, something that only Odin had done. This is also where it was revealed that Zoro had Conqueror's Haki, and that is one thing that the community had wanted to be confirmed for such a long time. After this altercation, Zoro's dream of becoming the world's strongest swordsman didn't seem too out of reach. This scene right here, whenever Zoro cut Monet, it confirmed to me that Zoro was going to be a conqueror. The fact that Monet knew she could have won and stayed is so mind-boggling to me. He cut a Logia without Haki and won the fight. Monet was so scared that if Zoro took this fight seriously and actually cut her, she could have died and she couldn't even reform herself. He had such a fantastic line where he said, "Have you ever met a wild beast that you could guarantee would never bite a human? Because I haven't." That might be his best line ever. Zoro losing to Mihawk so early in the series might be the best thing that ever happened to him. We know that Zoro has devoted his life to becoming the world's strongest swordsman, but he lost to the man he had to defeat early on. It showed just how far he still had to go. When he came to after experiencing such a defeat, it only made him even more determined to get stronger, that he'd do everything in his power to surpass Mihawk, and he'd never lose again until he did, which he hasn't. This scene holds a special place in my heart because it shows that Zoro's not just your average swordsman. He was able to understand that the Katetsu was a cursed blade, which now that we know swords aren't cursed, this makes the scenes even better. He willingly tossed the sword up and left it up to fate that it wouldn't cut his arm. It showcased that he was a swordsman that was worthy of wielding this blade, and Sendai Katetsu chose him. For the longest time, this was probably Zoro's most impressive feat out of the time skip. Pika was stated to be the size of a town. Zoro coated his blades in armament for the first time, and he spliced him in half. Not only did he do that, but the force of the blow sent him upward, which is even more impressive. Because of this interaction with Pika in the novel Straw Hat Stories, although it was not written by Oda, but at the same time, some of these stories were published in One Piece magazine. In the story, after this feat, people started to put Zoro on the pedestal with Mihawk with Vista with Shanks in the title for the world's strongest swordsman. The Supernova were finally able to fight against Kaido. For most of the attacks, Luffy, Law, Kid, and Killer, Kaido was tanking their attacks and seeing how strong they were. After Zoro cut the fire, he charged up Enma and was about to attack Kaido with the Flying Dragon Blaze, which is the same attack Zoro used in order to defeat Ryuma. Big Mom, who is also an Emperor of the Sea, who's experienced so much battle and so much fighting, she told him to dodge, which means the attack would have done some serious damage. He dodged Zoro's attack and it didn't land. To have two Yonko fear your power, that's pretty impressive. Nothing Happens reminds me so much of people making John Cena memes about how whenever he's in a picture you can't see him. The amount of times people talk about this moment and I see comments like, what are you talking about? Nothing happened. But this is probably most Zoro fans' favorite moment. He tried his best to defeat Kuma and he couldn't do it. He traded his life for Luffy, took his pain and didn't say a word about it. He didn't want gratitude. He did it because he cared for his captain. If he couldn't protect Luffy's goal of being the king of the pirates, then it meant his goal of being the world's strongest swordsman meant nothing. And after being in pain himself, taking on Luffy's and still standing, being conscious and claiming nothing happened, have we ever seen something like this happen in all of anime? The other moments before this one, I didn't rank in a particular order, but this is definitely my favorite Zoro moment. I'm talking about when he declared he'd be the king of hell, because number one, this was the fight that we had been waiting for Zoro to get. The fact that he hadn't been pushed all throughout the time skip, we've been craving for it as Zoro fan, and King did not disappoint. Also, this moment was so dope because he was able to unlock advanced conquerors, which only a handful of the very strongest can do. So after he defeated King, he declared he'd become the king of hell. And those are some of my favorite Zoro moments in One Piece. He has so many that I didn't even mention. Let me know what your guys' favorite Zoro moment is that isn't a fight in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.